Hi Virgo, my name is Audrey Alison. Thank you for joining me for your August 2016 forecast for the month. It is a beautiful day out and there's so much going on in August, particularly for Virgo. Happy solar return to any August-born Virgos. I am using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place. And let's start the month. Oh, I want to thank you too. Thanks for sharing these videos and for subscribing to my channel and for your support on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot. I'd appreciate you liking that page, and if you're on IG, you can follow me at Summer Jemmy on Instagram. It's a personal and business Instagram account, so if you're into that as well, you can follow me there. Okay, Virgo. There's so much happening in your sign, it's a little overwhelming, okay? So if August feels like you might need a helmet, it's okay to get one. Now, it's not like all bad, but there's a certain amount of protection that needs to be had this month. So let's start at the top of the month. On the 2nd of August, we have Mars making his transit into Sagittarius, another mutable sign like you. And he'll be conjunct Saturn when he gets there in the 4th house. So since this is a mutable sign, this energy is squaring whatever position you hold Virgo, whether that's your sun or your ascendant or your moon. Mars and Saturn are malefic energies. And Mars being the aggressor and action and stamina, and Saturn being restriction and limitation and control, it's a little bit of a dichotomy there. Mars wants you pushing forward in the 4th house of home, mother, environment, and foundation. And Saturn wants you limiting yourself there and discerning what is working for you in that environment and what isn't. All of that energy trines Uranus and Aries in the 8th house of shared resources. There could be a lot of restriction going on in what you need monetarily for home issues or your environment. And on that same day, on the 2nd, we have our new moon at 10 degrees of Leo, another fire sign compared to Sag and that Aries energy. So this trine is, the new moon is in your 12th house, trining those planets of Mars, Saturn, and then Uranus in Aries. The new moon in the 12th is about rest, and you might need it because of the restriction element of Saturn and the aggression of Mars. I don't mind anything in the 12th house when it comes to transits or new and full moons because it suggests rest and release of what no longer serves you. On the 5th of August, Venus enters Virgo, your sign, where she'll be conjunct Jupiter. You've had Jupiter with you for 10 months now. So Venus conjunct Jupiter through the 29th of August in the 1st house of self, trining Pluto in Capricorn in the 5th house, which is so ridden with intensity. Could actually see a lot of Virgoans who are trying to become pregnant. You could see a pregnancy or give birth to baby girls at this time. Venus is the feminine in Virgo, but with that transit brings a lot of attraction. And aesthetically, when Venus is in the 1st house of self, you're attracting people, you're looking your best, you're aesthetically at your top. And that's through the 29th of August, so take advantage of that. Saturn goes direct on the 13th in that sign of Sagittarius at 9 degrees. So both Mars and Saturn will be direct in that 4th house of home. You could see, you know how this could apply. You could desire to renovate the home, but not be able to at that time because Saturn might find a better time for you or have some kind of restriction at that time. Or what has started in the home is having trouble being finished right now, but Mars will help pick up the pace a little bit there. Or maybe it's that you want to accomplish something in your environment, but you don't have the security or resources to do it right now. You need to be patient with that. Wait for your solar return. You'll have a lot of energy moving forward there as well. On the 18th, it's eclipse season, so we start our eclipses. The full moon lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Aquarius in the 6th house of health. Now this is where I think a helmet might come into play, just because it's really important for Virgo to know that the 6th house is work and job and your daily routine and diet and health. And the full moon can see an ending. So maybe you're switching jobs at this time, but eclipses usually happens very abruptly. You could be eclipsed out of a position. You could also be done dieting or done with some form of health and the body, some form of technique that you were implementing in the health sector. It comes to a finish here. Maybe you're no longer needing to seek certain medical attention at that time, Virgo. But the reason I feel like this is a little aggravating for you is because you naturally govern the 6th house on the astrological wheel, and you love your details. You like the order and the regimen. And with a full moon lunar eclipse here, it could throw you off a little bit, a little off balance there. And eclipse energy lasts up to 6 months, so it doesn't just mean on the 18th and then that's it. On the 22nd, the sun enters your 1st house of self, where he'll be conjunct Jupiter and Venus. Benefic energy in the 1st house. This is superior time, and happy birthday. Happy solar return to Virgo. This is a great time for expansion. And watch the literal expansion too, because when Jupiter is in the 1st house, that's when he can actually expand the waistline. So keep that in mind. But you have such positive energy to develop something that you didn't really have faith in before. And that's Jupiter conjunct Venus, giving such a tremendous optimism and harmonious energy that you might just achieve things you never thought possible, Virgo. On the 29th, Venus exits your sign and enters Libra. This is where it starts to get good too, because Venus in the money sector is a double whammy. Venus being money and attraction and love. In a house of possessions, though, this is great for the wallet. This is great for attracting new possessions to you at this time. Now here's where things get tricky. You want to strap that helmet on again. On the 30th of August, Mercury's going to retrograde in your sign. He retrogrades at the very last degree of Virgo. This says something, okay? This says something to me. Before he leaves your sign, he's not done. So he retrogrades at 29 degrees. He goes back to the 14-degree mark, halfway through your sign, and then goes direct again through October 7th. So Mercury's with you for an extended stay. And he's retrograding August 30th through September 22nd. And in the 1st house. So expect the technical difficulties, because that's just a given, because Mercury is not only retrograde in your sign, he is your ruling planet. Technology, information, communication, the mind, the thought pattern, how you're expressing yourself, all could be a little glitchy. So you really want to say what it is you mean in short, concise words. You don't want to say too much. Less is more in this retrograde, and please, if you can avoid travel, do so. If not, I understand, life goes on, do what you have to do, but I would expect delays because this is retrograding in your sign. And also, just to put a cherry on this cake, on the 1st of September, I thought I would mention we are having the 2nd eclipse, the new moon solar eclipse, at 9 degrees of Virgo. So this is trining Pluto, planet of intensity, conjunct Jupiter in the 1st house. The 1st of September is not a day to make plans for your life. It's a day to quietly allow these energies to exist and yet dissipate, because you're being eclipsed. There is a rerouting here. For Virgos who are not fully aligned on their path, this is your time to get realigned. I feel it has something to do with your home environment, because I really am paying close attention to where Saturn is and where Mars is. And since they're together in the 4th house of mother, home, environment, this says something to me. Virgo might be switching it up. You might have to go visit your mother. You might be spending extra time with your mother or needing to visit her at this time. I want to get to the cards to see even deeper as to what might be happening to Virgo or for Virgo, using Robert M. Place alchemical deck. And they're thoroughly shuffled. I've been shuffling the whole reading. And if you'd like to book with me, I'm at audreyallison.com. I read all through the week, so you would just select your desired reading length via the PayPal button, and I'll get back to you in an email in a couple days, and we'll schedule a call. Okay, Virgo. Here are your cards for August 2016. The moon, look at that. And the new moon, which this is right here, is in your sign. You're being eclipsed. This is what they're telling me straight up. It's also a card of secrecy and intuition, privacy, clandestine energy with the moon card, and maybe even a little bit dreamy or manipulative energy. We'll see what else comes up here. Okay. The Nine of Coins, prosperity, health, well-being, the 6th house, where the full moon lunar eclipse takes place. Interesting. And you govern the 6th house on the solar wheel, where the sun and, the sun, Jupiter, and Venus will be in the sign of Virgo, but you're being eclipsed in the 1st house. Let's see what else comes up. 3 of Cups, siblings, friendship, sisterhood, generosity. I think something's going on with family and foundation in the 4th house for Virgo. We'll see what else. You have 2 more cards. Lady of Cups. Instinct, intuition, guidance through dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. What are they saying? And the Chariot is the last card. Travel. Information coming in. I wouldn't travel at the end of the month. I would get that over by the 23rd of August or so. The Chariot is having more information come in. Not all of the pieces are here yet. And you know, the Chariot's also the sign of Cancer in the Tarot. So let's see how this applies. This is about your intuition, but it's also about the eclipse and retreat, maybe becoming a little bit withdrawn or internal like the moon can be. Don't be delusional though, because the moon could be straight up too much alcohol, pills, delusion, not really being in the reality of situations, but living the fantasy in your mind could be the moon. But since you are having that new moon eclipse and that figure of the new moon is on there, I think the Tarot is aware that you could be blooming in your connections with females at this time. Your prosperity and health needs to be protected. Maybe you're doing something regarding both of those things with friends, with sisters, with family, with the 4th house of mother, environment. But you are being led. You're being led there. You need to just... August is a very insightful month. You need to pay attention to the symbols and signs that you're getting, Virgo. It's a very strong month for you. And since you have a lot of beneficial planets in your 1st house, this could be that not all of the pieces are here yet, but it's not disastrous. Once they're in place, you could see a lot of blooming fruition of your financial protection, or you could see the developing relationships between you and other females start to prosper. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I'm wishing you a beautiful August, Virgo, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.